Well, howdy, folks. Welcome back to another Bad 66 Chevelle video here. And I've been working on my whole Ford here. And pulled the head off. Now I cleaned it up. I went ahead and put new umbrella seals in it. And just kind of quote unquote freshened it up there. I'm of course not going to run these valve covers. I just set them on there just to keep rain and everything else out of it. I gotta do this side yet, and then I'm gonna clean my intake up, and then I'm gonna actually take and pull the whole front of this motor off, and we'll go on and do our timing chain cover and all that, and then I'm gonna drop the pan, and then I'm gonna throw an oil pump on it while I'm at it, and then after that, then we'll take and basically gonna do the whole gasket kit that I ordered for it. But just gonna kind of quote unquote freshen it up, but we're definitely getting there. Went ahead, cleaned it all up. These are D80 heads, so that's what it's got in it. I'm not sure if they got the hardened seats or not. I mean, I guess just by looking at them when I pulled the valves out, I mean, they look like they do, but not 100% sure. But I still gotta go back and clean my rocker arms up. I ain't adjusted nothing yet. I just more or less just threaded them in there just so it keeps everything in order. I kept all my push rods, my rocker arms, all that good stuff in order. But I gotta clean all that up. But I cleaned the inside of the head up real good. I still gotta get my rocker arms, like I said. But I got all the trash and sludge and everything cleaned out of it. So I got all that good stuff done. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it or not, but it's actually a surprise. This motor has flat tops in it, and it's bored 30 over. So it's been apart before, but at least it's got flat tops, so that helps. It's got these are the bigger chamber heads, so it's still a little lower compression, but that's okay. But in my opinion, since it's already bored 30 over, I mean, it's not worth really sinking a whole lot of money into, because these 302s, which I thought was a myth, but I mean, they got really thin cylinder walls, so you can't really bore them so much. I know you wouldn't want to go 60 for sure on these. They're very thin. You might be able to get away with 40, but this one's already 30, so you know, I'm only where it's at. It ain't worth boring and all that. Plus, I ain't really got the money to spend in it right now. The only thing I did is I ordered a gasket kit for it off Rock Auto for 55 bucks, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw a gasket kit in it, and we'll see what happens. But it did get rid of that. I went ahead and rotate the motor over. That that sound like that it was making. You go back and watch my videos here. And when I first bought this truck and had it running, it's like making that sound like that. Well, that sound's no longer here, so that's been corrected. I went ahead and rotate the motor over, because even when you rotate the motor over, you can still hear it. And that what that was is that was compression blowing at a number 3 cylinder back there between the head and the block. Is compression blowing out, which was my fear, but I checked the head over really good. The head looked perfectly fine to me. I didn't see nothing obviously wrong with it. I mean, the valve guys seemed like they were still in pretty decent shape. The seats looked good. None of the valve seats were sunk. Usually, most time, if it doesn't have hard seats or anything, the exhaust valve seats will sink over time. But I mean, they look really good, honestly. I went ahead and torqued the head down to spec, torqued it down to 70 foot-pounds. That's anywhere from when I looked on the internet, it said 65 to 70 foot-pounds, so I just shoot it for 70. You know, went ahead and torqued it from the middle and then spread out. I just put the exhaust manifold and the plugs back in it. All that's just temporary. I'm going to pull my rocker arms back off and my push rods, and I'm going to thoroughly clean everything on this thing, because I want to make sure and get all that, we'll call it milkshake, out of it. And hopefully, I mean, worst come to worst, you know, if it, the only thing I'm really out of is, you know, 55 bucks. Cause all I did was bought a gasket kit for it. I'm not really, you know, spending a whole lot of money on it. I just cleaning it up and throwing a gasket kit in it and painting it up, make it look nice, and that's all I'm gonna do. I mean, if it lasts a little while, it lasts a little while. It's not worth, you know, spending a whole lot of money in. But if it gets this truck where it can drive it up down the road and, you know, make it reliable for a little while, you know, that's all I care. So, learned that from Jonathan W. I want to thank him. You know, just fix what's really wrong. Why spend, you know, a whole bunch of money? So I'm just trying to fix what's truly wrong with it and not spend a pile of money in it. So I got our head gasket on, got everything torqued down. I'm gonna pull our rocker arms off, clean everything back up. Probably run that through the parts washer and all that. Clean our push rods up. We'll keep everything in order real good. And then I'm going to pull the exhaust manifold back off. I just got it snugged up on there for now. And I'm going to take and clean it up and probably get some high heat paint and paint that too. And then other than that, this side's about wrapped up. But I'll just set the intake back on it. But I'm going to do the driver's side as well. This side didn't have no issues, but, you know, I'm going to do the driver's side too. Get that done out of the way. Then after that, we'll clean our intake up, get all that painted up nice, and then we'll do our timing cover. We'll go ahead and order another water pump for it just for the heck of it. And then I'll probably end up taking and ordering a harmonic balancer for it too. So, gotta make sure this is a 50. Or not a 50 ounce, a 28 ounce. Gotta be careful about that. The 28 and the 50 ounce, I'm sure this is a 28. But I'll find out. But I am going to drop the oil pan. We're going to clean all the trash and garbage out of it. And then we'll throw an oil pump on it. I mean, why not? It ain't going to hurt nothing. I mean, it seemed like it had good oil pressure. It didn't knock or nothing. It just had a milky paste and it made it sound, that compression blowing out. But not sure if I showed y'all yet, but I'd actually taken and not sure if I showed you after I pulled apart or not. But let's see, what did I do with it here? Oh, here it is. This is what was going on here. I've never seen a head gasket do this. Kind of strange, but anyway. This is our head gasket here, and as you can see, number 3 cylinder had a big chunk of it missing. Now it was actually closer together than that. I kind of crinkled it up a little bit. That ring was really the only thing that was still holding it together. Okay. It's more like that. The ring, this part over here, that part over here was still together, but that chunk was missing. So compression was blowing past that, going every time it would be on the compression stroke. So that's what was making that noise. And that ring was the only thing holding together. I of course crinkled it up a little bit when I pulled it off. I checked to make sure the gasket was on properly. And you know, it seemed okay. Because one of the issues with this motor, they pulled the thermostat out, which tells me that it was running hot. I looked over the head, like I said, very, very good. And I mean, I should have took to a machine shop, got them to magniflux it, but I just, you know, I ain't got a lot of money right now. I'm just trying to, you know, just fix what's truly needed. I mean, worst come to worst, if it gets back a bunch of water back in the oil, then I know, you know, something else is wrong. But you know, this ain't gonna really hurt nothing. Might get lucky, might not. I mean, 55 bucks for a gasket kit. I mean, it's kind of either a win-win or a lose-lose situation. I think it'll run. As long as we get all that garbage and everything out of the inside of it, we should be alright. But that's what was wrong with it. So this head gasket went just like this. And on number 3 cylinder, the big chunk right there was completely missing out. And it's the only thing I could really find. It had a little corrosion right up in here, just a little bit. But everything else looked pretty good. I did this. But everything else looked pretty good. Usually they blow between the cylinders. Didn't see nothing there. But that's what was wrong with this side. I knew it was on this side. I was actually thinking of something else. I was actually thinking maybe one of the valves was stuck or something. But no, it ended up being something simple like it. So I don't think the head gasket was blowed, because if you look on our bolt holes where our coolant goes through, all that was holding through pretty good. And I don't believe there's no coolant or anything flowing through here. No, of course not. So that side really, it wasn't a head gasket, honestly. It wasn't blown anyway, but it was blown on the side right here, but it wasn't like blown in between the cylinders like something normally does. So that's kind of strange. But at least that solves that mystery. But like I said, I'm going to do the driver's side next. I'm going to tear it down, and I'm going to take in, I got the new valve stem seals, so why not? We're going to throw them in there. I'm going to go this far with it. I might as well at least, pull the valves out and, clean everything up real good and throw new valve seals in it. They come with the kit, so why not? I'm going to throw them in there. I did that side, and we'll go ahead and do this side. I'm kind of glad I did, because about 3 out of the 8 valve umbrella seals on here are about falling apart. And you can actually look in the valve springs, and they're falling apart, so probably why it smoked a little bit. But it's got just a tiny bit of a ridge in the cylinder, so the cylinders actually look pretty good. They didn't look too terrible, but it's got just a little bit of a ridge. So that's why I'm saying it's not really worth sinking a pile of money into, because you could bore at 40 probably, and it'd be fine. But that's one thing I don't like about these 302s. They really good motors. I love the designs on them, but the cylinder walls are just so thin. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at here. It's the other head over here that I cleaned up looked just like this, so it had all that garbage and sludge and everything else. But now that I've looked at it closer, though, you can really kind of tell it's definitely been rebuilt at one time or another. I'm just wondering what the crank's been turned, but I ain't gonna mess with none of that. But the right way. I wish I kind of want to spend a little more money and at least re-ringed it, we'll call it, and hammered it out, and at least did somewhat of a little bit better job. But I just figure, it ain't really worth it, because I didn't know if the head was cracked or the block was busted or anything seriously wrong with it. That's why I'm going to put a whole lot of money in it. But I think we got kind of lucky. But most of the lifters, I don't think the cam don't look too bad. So hopefully I'll rotate it over a couple times. I'll pull the intake off and watch all the lifters go up and down. And if some of them are sunk kind of far, then we know that might have a load wiped out. But most of them, at least for I can tell, at least on this passenger side here, looked okay. So I'll go through and double check it. But I'd like to at least would have been nice to spend a little extra money and throw a timing chain set and a new cam and lifters in it. And bearings, but it ain't worth putting a whole lot of money into, because I don't know what's going to happen. It might fire up, might blow up. Then again, it might run perfect. I think it'll run fine, but it might be one of them things, it'll run real good, then it'll get hot, and it won't be able to keep temperature. So, we don't know yet. We'll find out. But I appreciate everybody watching my videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And just a little side update here. I finally got all my vehicles back here on my land here. This is used to be old Clater salvage yard years and years ago. But finally got my Chevelle back here now. I got my white Ford. That's the one I'm building my 302 for. It's got aluminum heads with 202 intake and 1.6 exhaust. And I believe they are 64cc chambers. Maybe I'll build a little bit, but trying my best to get 10-to-1 compression on that motor I'm building for that truck. I'm gonna have to get I'm gonna run flat tops, but I'm gonna have to get them relieved for the bigger valves, otherwise they're gonna hit the pistons. But that's getting a solid lifter cam. It's got 500 lift on it, on the intake and exhaust, so it's gonna be a little interesting. I'm gonna put roller rockers on it. If I would have had a little extra money, I would have went to a solid roller in it, made it a full roller, but that just, it's kind of expensive. But for what I'm doing, it ain't really worth it. But this truck, I'm gonna take all the computer and all that good stuff off. I'm gonna take the tank out of it. I'm gonna measure it. I'm gonna compare it, especially being side by side between this 78 here. I'm gonna measure all the dimensions and everything. And if the straps are on the same locations, I'm gonna take and just order a 78 tank for this 89 here, and we'll switch it out. That way we can delete all that fuel injection junk. And I'm gonna bend up a 3/8 fuel line, and I'll run it for where a fuel pump is gonna be on the frame, and I'll bend it up and then run it straight on back. And then we're going to run, of course, our mechanical fuel pump on this truck, just like this motor and the 78 has here. We're going to run that setup, and then we'll bend it up just like this one goes, and go straight on.